Thought I'd take a minute to show you guys my latest project. This is a normal John boat, little semi V. I think it's a low, but it's about 18 years old, so it was getting pretty beat up. We would be going over the water and it would kind of flex and bend around, so pulled it all apart, and a bunch of these joists had little cracks, well, pretty big cracks actually. Some of them ran all the way up to the top and across, so pulled the floor out, welded all those up, all the welds that held the decks. A lot of them were just completely broken off, and then that whole gunnel over there was separated like that far from the side of the boat. So I just kind of been fixing it up and then tweaking some stuff while I got it torn down. It's got this 1.5 inch 1/8 wall square. So I got two. What are you doing, Jack? This is Jack. I got two joists, beams, rails, two pieces of metal going across side to side, and then some like 3/16 plate that goes from there down to there, just to give the side a little bit more rigidity, because it was kind of super flappy and the console was always moving all over. So did that, and then it's also got two new pieces of metal that go from the rear to the front, just kind of right in the middle there, just to kind of stiffen it up a little bit. Hopefully it'll not crack and fall apart again. Dry box live well thing goes over there, that's why it's not covered. And then this console, it was all cracked, so I just put a piece of angle in there and welded it up. Hopefully it doesn't crack again. This thing gets the tar beat out of it. It's spent probably 6 months of its life in Pamlico Sound, and you get like 1.5 foot waves, but it's just constant banging, so it's really hard on it. So now into the fun stuff. While it was torn down, I couldn't help myself but to modify something. So I used to have all the batteries and the fuel tanks back here. Moved the batteries, they're up in the front now. They sit, there's two pods in here, kind of, so the batteries sit right there and there, and then this is the seat post, so you can take the seat post mount off and get to the terminals. But two batteries up there now, and then got a tunnel. So I spent a lot of time running in shallow water, and I wanted to be able to go a little bit shallower. This is I want to say it was like 3.5 inch raise, and then I cut those out because I'm going to move them in, and it had those factory frame rails right there that came all the way back, and I had to cut them. So this 2x4 is going to get welded in there and all reattached, and then 2x4 lift the motor up. None of this is welded, I just kind of been fitting stuff up, getting it how I want it. And then these guys just here to kind of brace it a little bit. I'm going to weld them to this top point. Probably put a bolt through it too, but get welded all the way around there, and then get bolted through here as well. And then, so I got battery cables. These are the main battery wires, so they'll come back and go to here, and then the motor, everything, all your main real important stuff is getting tied to this side, and then this is for the auxiliary battery. It's going to be trolling motor and whatnot. A little bit smaller wire going to that one. Big build pump. Yeah, nothing I guess it's not too exciting. It'll be cool to see how that tunnel works, but this is kind of my first aluminum welding project, so good start, I guess. Got a little, not the greatest, but you know, I think it'll be alright since it's just a John boat. But this is the motor I got too. Old Yamaha C40. Got a new prop shaft for it. This one's kind of bent. I need a new prop as well. So I've just been doing a lot of reading about props and what works good for shallow water boats, and try to get this thing as high out of the water as I can. Go rip it up some creeks. There's one other thing I guess I'll mention. Got this guy. It's got a lot of metal in it. That goes right there. And then that tube actually goes through into the tunnel, and then there's a little plate that kind of covers the bottom of it to keep water from getting forced through. That tube runs up. Console's right here, and this is kind of just right back behind your legs. But this is a vent for the tunnel to kind of help you relieve some of the suction that it creates once you get out of the hole. So I don't know what it's going to do. Tunnels are real new to me. I've never even been in a boat with one or anything, so thought I'd throw it on there just so you can kind of dial it in when you're running. I got the Buggy in here. This thing. Still waiting on parts. That axle shaft. It got finished up at CNC, and then I shipped it out to Indianapolis so it can get hardened. As the local guy to me didn't want to harden the 41, 4140, whatever it is, didn't want to harden it, so shipped it out. We'll get that back eventually and get that thing going again.